Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to hop on and share with you a couple of things I've been learning about marketing that have just been truly revolutionary. Now, I have been working with a marketer one-on-one for the last couple of weeks, and my eyes have just been open to all sorts of things. And of course, I want to share it with you along the way. Now, just to preface, I am still learning, I'm absorbing, I'm growing. So I'm going to share with you what I understand right now. This will continue to evolve, and I'll be sharing everything along the way with you guys. Now, if you're in the community, you're watching this first. I hope you find this really helpful. If you're not part of the community and you're watching this later on YouTube, you might want to consider joining the community. I'll leave a link down below in the description. You can also check it out for free, a free month. There's a code down there you can check out. The marketer I've been working with, his name is Josh. He actually participates in the community, answering all sorts of questions about marketing, Google Ads, and things like that. But with that out of the way, let me share with you what I've been learning from Josh over the last couple of days. Now, one of the big things he's been telling me to do and encouraging me to do is collect data about our practice in terms of numbers and all sorts of things. Now, I've been collecting data, but the extent to which he wanted me to collect data was a lot different. And there were two pieces of data that I had not really been keeping track of that I have since gone back and created a spreadsheet to collect this information. And those two pieces of data are right here. It's going to be the number of sessions and the session payment. And this is going to yield then the average number of sessions a person stays for in your practice, and then the average session payment that you receive from a client or in your practice as a whole. Let me break this down just a little bit more. And this is a simple table that I made just for the purposes of this video. And I'll share with you a bit more about what my current spreadsheet looks like. But if we want to do this really simply, we can simply I'm saying simple a lot, right? We can create a table in Excel. I would do Excel because you could figure out formulas and things. But on one hand, we want to record all of the clients. Now, we have the HIPAA compliant version of Google Workspace, so everything there is HIPAA compliant. But yeah, so you want to make sure you're doing this in a HIPAA compliant way. Most EHRs are not going to do this, but essentially you're going to start recording all of your clients in your practice, right? Just in one by one, and that client is going to be one column. And then you're going to tally up the number of sessions they've had, and that'll be in another column. And then finally, the average or the session payment in another column. Now, this is a little bit tedious, especially if your EHR is not that organized. You do have to go one by one through each client. There are ways to export it. You might be able to figure that out. But for me, I had to go one by one for every single client I started from 2024 to make it fresh. And in our practice, we do keep track of sessions. That wasn't too hard. And then session payment usually doesn't change much from session to session, so you should have that information readily available. But it will take time to kind of curate this database we're going to make. And then once we have that information for all the clients, we're then going to be able to get an average number of sessions and an average session payment for our practice as a whole. And these two numbers are going to help us make decisions and see things that you probably didn't see before. Let me give you a couple of examples down here on the bullet points. So using these numbers up top, which are totally hypothetical, if we look here, we got client X, Y, and Z. Client X stayed for 5 sessions, Y 3 sessions, Z 6 sessions, and then the payments were 60, 150, and 60 for each of those sessions. And considering those numbers, that would mean that on average in your practice, one client stays for about 3 sessions because the average number there is 2.95, and you get paid roughly $30 for each session. And that is taking the session payment of all those clients and averaging it together. And that would mean that on average, you will make about $89 per client who comes into your practice. And the way we get that is you would assume that most people stay for about 3 sessions and you're getting paid roughly $30 per session. That equals about $90. So each client is worth about $90 in your practice, right? And you've already seen now that this is going to inform how where we make adjustments. Maybe we need to figure out how to help clients stay longer, right? That might be one avenue, but that's excuse me, I almost choked. I'm so excited about this information. That's just a sidetrack here. And the other thing I have to caveat is I am not here to put dollar amounts to people. That is just not what I do. Like, we're clinicians first and foremost. But we do have to address the business side of things. Like, we just can't be ignorant to that. And so this video is strictly about the business side of things, right? I do not think that clients coming in are, I don't look at people with dollar values. But in our switch gears to business, and if we're going to make decisions about marketing and where we put ourselves on directories and where we spend our money for our practice, which ultimately benefits our clients, we have to think about it that way. Sorry, I just had to get that out of the way. But going back to bullet point number 1, that means that in your practice as it stands today, each client that you get is worth about $89 in value, right? Return on investment, or that's how much you're going to make. Now, think about how this is going to inform how we spend on ads and marketing. And let's use Psychology Today, for example. Now, Psychology Today, roughly $30 a month. That's a fixed fee, right? Some people are considering, is it worth it? Should I do it? Whatever the case may be. And if we use these numbers here, then we can say that, well, if you get one client from Psychology Today, that's going to cost you $30. Let's imagine you get nothing else but one client sticks with you from Psychology Today. That client's going to cost you $30, right, for the booking. And that client, though, is going to be worth roughly $89. That is a pretty good return on investment, almost $60 in profit off of that, right? That's not bad. Now, let's imagine we get 2 clients from Psychology Today. The fixed rate is $30, right? So 2 clients cost you $30 to get, and they yield about $180 on average. This is a really good return on investment. Now, if we look at this from day to day or month to month, we're going to get lost in kind of the minute kind of details of that 1 month or that 1 week. But if we zoom out and look at these averages here, it's really going to help us make more informed decisions. And so I want to encourage you this week, if you're not doing this already, go ahead and do this. Spend the time. It's really well worth it to start collecting this data about your practice. It's going to inform where you can make changes, where to spend your marketing dollars, and things like that. Now, there's a lot more to learn, a lot more to know. And again, I'm learning along the way. I'm going to be sharing it all with you. But I do hope you found this particular video helpful. I hope collecting these numbers helps you, transforms the way you think about things. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.